All right. Thought I'd get this live stream going on my way to the house. Get it cracking. All right. Well, one thing I did see, I saw the footage of Regis Prograde. Regis Prograde, everything I thought he was. I think that dude is one of the baddest motherfuckers at 140. And like he said he may be unbeatable at 140. I'll put it to you this way: he gonna be tough to beat. That's for damn sure. And man, I saw Nonito Donaire had a great knockout. I mean, hey, the dude left his face wide open for Nonito Donaire to counter with the left hook. Nonito Donaire always did have a good left hook. So, but I don't think Nonito Donaire is what he was like 5 years ago. Well, maybe 6 years ago. But I mean, he's still fighting at 36. I guess he feel like he still got a little something left in the tank, but I don't think he is a threat to anybody at the weight class that he's, the weight class he's fighting at. I don't think there's no real competition for him out there. So, I mean, because he got a savage beaten by Guillermo Rigondeaux. I mean, it was pretty much a one-sided fight except for that round where he dropped Guillermo Rigondeaux. But that was pretty much it, but cool. Then, man, I gotta tell you, Robert Easter Jr., I don't know what it is about Robert Easter Jr., but it just seemed like he just missing something. I don't know what it is about him. It just like him and Adrian Broner got a lot of similarities. They just can't win. They just don't live for the moment where they just come through in the clutch. That fight was there for him to take, and he just, let it go to a draw. But then again, guys like Francis Bartholomew, or whatever the fuck his name is, those dudes like have what you call nasty fighting styles. Them, Javier Fortuna, nobody don't like to fight those guys because of their fight style. Not because they feel like they can't beat them. It's just because they have what you would call rugged styles. And that's why a lot of guys don't like to fight Sean Porter in most cases, because Sean Porter leads with his head. A lot of times, he didn't got better the last couple of fights, but, but those dudes like Fortuna and Bartholomew, they just don't, they just don't do it for a lot of fans. They have what you call ugly fight styles, and sometimes Lara can be like that also. When Lara want to be exciting, he can, but then a lot of times he played safe, and I feel like that's another reason why sometimes he didn't get big fights, because of his, safety first, defense, then initiate offense second. So, I mean, that's why he didn't get a lot of big fights. But Robert Easter, it just seemed like something is just missing with that dude. I don't know what the fuck it is. It just seemed like he just, he just can't get right. Then it could be the fact that he's 6'1" and shit, and he fighting at that weight class. Robert Easter Jr. should be really fighting at best, he should be fighting at 154. But he's frail and he's tall as shit. And to be honest with you, somebody being his height, maybe it's not healthy for him to keep fighting at that weight class. I think Robert Easter Jr. should try his hand at 140 for a few fights, and then move up to 147. He should just consider moving up. And I mean, it's not like they gonna put him in the ring with Regis Prograde or somebody like that, but I think like Robert Easter Jr. should just consider moving up. I think he may not be able to fight at 135 anymore. I don't think he can fight at 130 anything. I just think he's just not effective at that weight class. And I think a lot of people are starting to see that. I think he should see it by now. I didn't look at his last few performances, man, and he just, it's just something missing with him. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's his trainer or the way he trains, but it's just something just missing with him, and I just think he just not effective at 135. I think maybe if he tried to go up gradually, I think he'll have more power. I think he'll be stronger. You know, keep in mind this dude is like 6'1", so I mean, for real. I think he should consider going up. And then it appears that Errol Spence and Sean Porter is headed for a September showdown location to be determined. Look like it'll be more than likely in Brooklyn. I wish the fight would be in Las Vegas, or I wish the fight would be in Las Vegas or LA so I can go to the fight, but it appears that the fight is going to be in Brooklyn, and it's going to be on regular TV. I don't know whether it's going to be on Fox or Showtime, but it's looking like that fight is headed for September, which I think that's unfortunate, because me myself, I think, to be honest with you, Errol Spence could have made that fight in August, and then he could have got another fight in December or January, which proves that he's not going to fight Crawford no time this year. And that's unfortunate for the fans, but it is what it is. That's very unfortunate. I wish that fight would happen sooner than later. I don't want to wait to the tail end of 2020, but whatever. So then we also have Canelo versus Daniel Jacobs. You guys know how I feel about that fight. I gotta be honest with you. I'm seeing some things with DAZN that I have to give them credit for. DAZN is doing a little bit more advertising. I'm starting to see commercials. They're using guys like Tracy Morgan and stuff, and Brubman, and then I've seen the billboard in Union City, advertising DAZN, basically Daniel Jacobs versus Canelo Alvarez. The fight is going to be shown in movie theaters. Now, if DAZN is not secluding their fight cards to just, an app, and they trying to get it in movie theaters, okay, then you talking my kind of language, because I don't want to watch no damn fight on no fucking computer or no fucking mobile phone. Like I said before, fights are meant to be seen, big fights are meant to be seen on TV, not no damn app. And I'm just keeping it 100. Now, who do I think is going to win this fight? I already stated my thoughts on this fight. If Daniel Jacobs doesn't put Canelo on his ass at least 2 or 3 times, he's not going to win this fight, because he's already, like I said, going to be down 3 to 4 rounds when the bell rings. So it's basically catch up. He's going to have to fucking catch up. And I think that's going to be difficult for Daniel Jacobs. Daniel Jacobs is not really that aggressive. He doesn't just go balls to the wall like he should. He may have to do it in this particular fight. Now, he did it with Peter Quillin. He kind of did it with Derevyanchenko, but then he kind of like took his foot off the gas, and he kind of just, what you would say, kind of sort of like cruised to a victory and shit. Damn, got the hiccups. So he kind of cruised to a victory with Derevyanchenko. But Daniel Jacobs, to be honest, Daniel Jacobs has looked very pedestrian in a lot of his fights. Very pedestrian. I mean, he gonna have to, like, when I say Daniel Jacobs gonna have to really want it, he really gonna have to like do what he's not used to doing, which is like brawl. He gonna have to take that fight to Canelo, because if not, if he tries to outbox Canelo, and he could possibly outbox Canelo, he's not going to get the decision, and that is just the bottom line. We know that. Most people with sense know that. I don't give a fuck about Canelo fans getting mad saying, oh, that's not, oh, it's true. It's true. Like I said before, if you look at Canelo's history, his biggest fights have ended in some kind of controversy. And this fight may be no different from the others. I'm just keeping it 100. Hey, what's up? So I just don't see this being no different from the others and shit. So then I gotta do this fight on I won't be at the Canelo Daniel Jacobs fight. I could have went to that fight, but I decided to stay local. You know, like I said, I'm gonna cover the Stockton card, the top ranked Stockton card. That's so much close. Hey Pratt, what's going on, man? Look like Pacquiao and Keith Thurman gonna get finalized this week. More than likely, I'll be at that fight because it's supposed to happen, I think, July the 20th. So I should be at that fight. More than likely, I'll be there. I think it'll be a great fight. Oh yeah, that's. I expect Keith Thurman to get dropped, and I expect him to drop Pacquiao. They gonna go at it. It's gonna be a great fight. You know, people gonna get their money's worth. I just think the thing is, Pratt, with Pacquiao don't usually attack the body. Not Pacquiao's strongest point like a lot of other people do. So Pacquiao isn't really what you call a strong body puncher. He rarely fights on the inside. So that's why I think it's going to be like an all-out war. But he will eventually catch Keith Thurman. And I think Keith Thurman will catch Pacquiao. So I don't see this fight being boring no type of way. I think it's going to be an action-packed fight. Who do I think going to win? That's debatable. I can see Pacquiao winning a decision over Keith Thurman, but I can see Keith Thurman catching Pacquiao in the later rounds and stopping Pacquiao. Keith Thurman, he will exchange with Pacquiao sometime and it's just gonna come down to who gonna be standing when they land their best punch. So we'll see, man. I think it's gonna be a real good ass fight. Like I said, I look forward to covering that fight. So, plus it's at my favorite arena to watch a fight. It's gonna be at the MGM Grand, because everybody knows who follow my channel, I fucking hate the T-Mobile Arena. Hey, what's up? I mean, it could happen. Well, we really gonna see what Keith Thurman's chin is made out of. We gonna really see can Pacquiao still take a punch. I think this fight is gonna really be in the middle of the ring. I don't see nobody backing anybody up. I just think this fight is just gonna be in the middle of the ring, like his fights with Juan Manuel Marquez, and we all know how those fights turned out. So I mean, it's gonna be a solid fight for real. It's gonna be a real solid fight. As far as Errol Spence and Sean Porter go, I expect Errol Spence to beat Sean Porter's ass. I think he's gonna beat his ass, and I'm really glad that this fight is not going to be on pay-per-view. I'm really glad. It's a reason why they would go put this fight on pay-per-view. Oh, that's more Floyd than than him. They already said that they gonna carefully, you know, put opponents together for Tank and shit. Not surprised. Can't say I didn't see that coming. I'll talk about that later. I'm not surprised about that. Don't surprise me. Yeah, but I'm gonna just be honest with you. The real reason why Errol Spence and I'm just gonna say it, shit. I ain't worried about no Errol Spence apologists getting mad. I'm just gonna tell the fucking truth. Yeah, I'll get to that in a minute. I'm just gonna tell the fucking truth. The real reason why they ain't putting Shawn Porter and Errol Spence on pay-per-view is like what Shawn Porter's been accused of. He can't sell a family dinner. That fight ain't gonna do no good numbers. And the reason why they ain't putting it in Dallas is because nobody ain't gonna come to that motherfucker. They not gonna put that fight in no Cowboy Stadium and fucking 20,000 people show up. That's the real reason why. That's the real reason why that fight ain't gonna get put in Cowboy Stadium, because they gonna fuck around and have 20,000 people show up, and then it's gonna do like 100,000 pay-per-views, and then Errol Spence ain't gonna be able to holler how well he's doing on pay-per-view. But then they not gonna allow Bud to fight Danny Garcia. I'm gonna ask Bob Arum about it, even though I'm wasting my fucking time. But no, that's the truth. So then Errol Spence can't be saying he's the A side and shit, because he won't really have that much to bargain with, because they can say, well, damn, your pay-per-view numbers for this fight is lower than the first fight. And then it'll be like, okay, well, Mikey Garcia helped sell the first pay-per-view, which he did. They don't want it to look like it wasn't Errol Spence. They want to book him as box office. But if he... Man, I can't read all that shit while I'm driving, bro. You're going to have to keep those, dude. You're going to have to keep that shit short. You got to understand I'm driving, bro. I can't read all that and drive at the same time. You got to keep those sentences short. No, but that's the real reason why. Because if that fight does 100,000 versus 300,000 or whatever you did the last fight, they're going to say, okay, well, you not box office like you saying you is. Oh, I know how the game works. Motherfuckers just mad at me because I'm sitting up telling the truth. That's why that fight ain't gonna be on no fucking pay-per-view, because the shit ain't gonna sell. That's why. That fight will be a fucking pay-per-view flop. And then if it goes to Dallas, it's gonna be a fucking flop in Dallas. That's the real reason why they ain't gonna put that fight in Dallas, because they know they ain't gonna get no fucking 50,000 people in there to see no fucking Shawn Porter. Because Shawn Porter has a horrible personality. He's not charismatic. You get sleepy when you listen to him talk, and then plus he wears horrible suits. You know what I'm saying? So that's the real reason why. Don't be fooled by that shit that, oh, Errol Spence is doing us a favor by putting that shit on. No, he not. He know that shit ain't gonna sell. And Al Heyman know it ain't gonna sell. Yeah, well, I don't think it got nothing to do with football. See, they just know the shit ain't gonna sell. That ain't got nothing to do with the NFL, because if that's the case, Canelo wouldn't have did the numbers he did at his last fight, and it was during football season. Mexicans like football. You can't pull that one. You can't use that excuse. It ain't got shit to do with football. Nah, it's just gonna be because the shit would flop. Damn, why do you say that? Why do you say he? No, I'm just saying I'm just giving y'all the real. I told you, man, I may be a reporter, but I just call this shit right down the middle. I'm telling y'all, they know it's not gonna sell. And then let's just say Danny Garcia come to his senses and he take $5 or $6 million to fight Bud at Madison Square Garden like in August. Bud versus Danny Garcia does, listen, and I want y'all to listen before y'all comment. Bud versus Danny Garcia does at least $250,000 if it's in Madison Square Garden. Because all the Puerto Ricans gonna come to see Danny Garcia, and then you still gonna have Bud did $14,000 against Amir Khan. So you're gonna have a split crowd. You're gonna have at least 19,000 people at Madison Square Garden to see Bud versus Danny Garcia. You're gonna have all the Puerto Ricans from Philly, the Puerto Ricans from New York, and then it's gonna have a good live gate. So then let's just say Bud and Danny Garcia does 200,000, 250,000. So then Bud could come back to the table and say, hey, I have 3 pay-per-views versus Errol Spence's 1. I did 200,000 versus Danny Garcia, 150,000 versus Amir Khan, then my first fight versus Victor Ortiz. So technically, I did more pay-per-view numbers than Errol Spence versus his or right then and there, or I'm right on the dotted line, or I'm right neck and neck. So then, therefore, you had a negotiating skill tipping back towards Bud Crawford. So that's why they ain't gonna let, and then not to mention, they, as I told you before, they don't want Bud to get a second belt because the PBC has 3 of the belts. If Bud gets 2, he has a lot of negotiating power. And if Bud gets Danny Garcia and they do good numbers, then okay, we got a problem. So y'all gotta understand, man, that's what this shit is really all about. Me, myself, I told you the fight should be made already. I'm just keeping it real, man. I'm just keeping it real. That's what's going on. But I'm gonna be on Bob Arum's helmet come Friday, or Saturday, whatever the case may be, because I'm gonna be at the weigh-in. I'm gonna ask him a lot of questions. I'm gonna ask him if Artur Beterbiev get past this dude. What's the hold up with him and Sergey Kovalev finally getting in the ring? Why won't these Russian guys fight each other? I'm gonna ask Bob Arum a lot of questions. Since he say Al Heyman don't want to work with white people, then I'm gonna ask him about Maurice Hooker versus Jose Ramirez. Yeah, so I'm gonna ask him about all that shit. I'm gonna say, well, are you gonna work with Eddie Hearn to make Maurice Hooker versus Jose Ramirez? More than likely, that'll go to a purse bid. Probably Bob Arum would win the purse bid, and they would have to have a fight in Fresno, which that's fine too, because y'all know I can get to Fresno. I actually like going to Fresno to cover fights. Well, they was gonna overpay Danny Garcia in the first time. Don't fall into that that call Al Heyman and shit, because like I said, at the end of the day, Danny Garcia make his own decisions. Danny Garcia, see, here's the thing. You can't use that shit that, oh, well, he would have been coming off a loss if he would have, so what? He would have got $5 million. Even if he would have lost, Al Heyman would have still made the Adrian Granados fight. He still to knock out and get back and get his name back up there. I mean, let's just face the fact. You ain't expected to beat Bud. You expected to get your ass beat, but you got $5 million to get your ass beat. They are going to have to overpay. But I guarantee you guys, Bud versus Danny Garcia does at least 250,000 to 300,000 if they properly promote that fight. Properly promote that fight, where they do like what you would call an all access and all that type of shit. But Bob Arum them is gonna have to stop fucking being cheap. And I am gonna say this much about Top Rank. I'm just telling the truth. One thing I do get sick and tired of, if Bud is having his pay-per-view, you need to stop always bringing up Lomachenko, because I think a lot of people is tired of seeing that shit. I mean, if you promoting Bud, just promote Bud, man. Stop bringing up this Lomachenko and shit. Is it a Bud pay-per-view or a Lomachenko pay-per-view? And those ESPN people are really ass backwards. You know, they pound for pound list was a fucking joke. Cause like I said, Sora Vise should not have been in nobody's top 10 pound for pound. I'm sorry. Hell fucking no. I'm gonna ask Bob Arum would he consider. I'm gonna be slick with how I asked him this question. I'm gonna ask Bob Arum would he ever consider. The Phantom, we ain't talking about no fucking ranking, dude. We talked about something else. Stick to the fucking subject. For real. But anyway, I'm gonna ask Bob Arum would he consider feeding Lomachenko the Regis Pro grade. Nah, they probably would take away my press credentials. They'd probably kick my ass out of there. But I just want to see the look on their face, because I already know that we already know that fight ain't gonna happen. But it'll just be fun to ask just to see what he would say. That fight is not possible. That fight is not possible. Regis is too big. But I just want to see the look on it. I just want to see the look on his face. That was atrocious, man. When I looked at ESPN's, had the Japanese dude that nobody. Oh, you right about that. I get sick of the Lomachenko nut hugging. It's like Andre Ward don't be doing it, but those other dudes, you know, the dudes that I have to sit at the table with, those other media dudes, yeah, man. It's just unbearable sometimes, though. And the fun part about it is, Lomachenko just said out of his own fucking mouth that Bud is the best fighter on the planet, but the writers refused to acknowledge Bud as the best fighter on the planet. Lomachenko just said it out of his own mouth. He told me that Bud was the best fighter on the planet. Nah, come on, Phantom, cut the shit. You already know what this shit is all about. I didn't say it on several occasions. Lomachenko is a great fighter, but let's not make it look like that they ain't carefully finding opponents for Lomachenko at the same time. Because that Adam Carolla shit was a joke. That was a fucking joke. But I am going to ask Bob would he consider feeding Lomachenko the Regis Pro grade. I'm going to ask him. But one thing about Bob, you got to be slick how you ask Bob questions. But if you ask Bob the right question, he's not going to... Al Heyman and Bob Arum is going to go the fuck off. He going to start saying, Al Heyman is responsible for a lot of fights not getting made. But you just said Al Heyman don't want to work with the white man, but he worked with Eddie Hearn, and Eddie Hearn is white as you can get. Eddie Hearn is a super white man that think he cool, but he not. And he works with Lou DiBella. Lou DiBella is a white man. And like I said, he worked with small companies. And most of them are ran or owned by white men. So I just don't know where that came from. And Bob Arum can't get mad if I ask him about the shit because he said it. So I'm going to get Bob Arum to talk about that. But what I'm mainly going to try to get Bob to do is try to get him to say, hey, Bob, you say you're willing to work with Al Haymon. Are you willing to overpay a PBC fighter just to get a PBC top-ranked promotional deal did? You got to ask Bob Arum those type of questions. You got to ask those type of questions because at the end of the day, it ain't about nut hugging because I'm not on nobody's payroll. And the fans are, I'm doing this for the fans. I'm doing this for y'all. Because all you get is when you talk to these fucking promoters is a bunch of fucking fingers. Whether it's Eddie Hearn, whether it's Bob Arum, whether it's Oscar De La Hoya, whether it's Al Haymon, but Al Haymon ain't no promoter, and Al Haymon doesn't talk to the media. And this is why people think Al Haymon isn't a real person. Because nobody knows what the fuck he sounds like. I think Al Haymon should occasionally do interviews. This is why people make those jokes about, do you talk to Al Haymon in a dungeon or blind, or do you get blindfolded and you get, took to some dungeon and then Al Haymon talks to you from a TV screen and shit. So this is why people say the shit about Al Haymon, because we don't know what he sounds like. And I think if Al Haymon would just every once in a while do an interview with the media, I think we could get more clarity on what's going on with him and his fighters. And by him not talking, this is why everybody goes in on Al Haymon. This is why you have a lot of the whatever you call it, the other YouTube channels talk the shit about Al Haymon. Because we don't know what the fuck he sounds like. No, I want to know what did a dude sound like. He doesn't do interviews. Like, I know he's a real person and shit. I just want to see or just hear what he sounds like. I just wish he would do an interview concerning, or at least release a statement. He don't even do that. And that's why sometimes he put his fighters or the fighters that he advised in a bad position to get like roasted. Because they always sit up there and say, hey, man, do you want to fight so-and-so? Or you've been offered this amount of money to fight this dude. And then you say, hey, man, call Al Haymon. How the fuck we going to call Al Haymon? I don't got Al Haymon's number. If I had Al Haymon's number, I would be talking to him. Why do people say, hey, man, call Al Haymon? I don't got Al Haymon's number. I don't think none of us has Al Haymon's number. And probably if you do call Al Haymon or text him, probably your phone gonna implode or explode or some shit like that. Probably your screen gonna blow up or some shit like that. So I don't want to talk to Al Haymon, to be honest with you. Not on the phone. I like to talk to him in person and shit. So I'm just saying that might happen, I mean, Fred's supposed to have talked to Al Haymon, but I haven't. So that's what I'm saying. He put his fighters in terrible positions because people be like, hey, man, why we got to always talk? Why is your answer, hey, talk to Al Haymon, man? Why can't you answer the damn question? But real talk, Bob Arum go have to overpay one of these PBC fighters, whether he like it or not. And then if they don't accept a deal, then you really gonna have to start looking at them, because you're gonna have to start wondering, like, why is you turning down big money? Because like I said before, I'm not pocket watching with Danny Garcia, but I know for a fact he only got paid $1 million for that Adrian Granados fight. And it don't make no sense when you could have got $5 million to fight Bud, and you probably would have walked away with $7 million. with the pay-per-view and the overseas sales and shit, so that don't make no kind of sense. Just like the shit with Peter Quillen. Then you got this shit with Deontay Wilder. And then the Luis Ortiz thing. But Al Heyman didn't have nothing to do with Luis Ortiz. That was his management team. They don't seem to be on the same page, and they sitting up there pointing the finger at each other like, oh man, it was the manager. No, it was the promoter. So basically they ain't on the same page. You hear that there was an offer as high as $7 million and they turned it down. I would have took the $7 million on short notice. You know? And that was just bad. And I see people trying to make videos saying Al Heyman fucked. Al Heyman didn't have nothing to do with this. This was all on Luis Ortiz. I don't know who he is. Some Spanish dude. But they wasn't on the same page about the money. They pointed the finger at who turned the actual fight down. I don't know who the fuck Danny Garcia is gonna fight next. But like I said, I'm gonna put pressure on Bob Arum. I'm gonna ask him, okay, what do you want to do? I'm gonna ask him about Maurice Hooker and Jose Ramirez. Yeah, you can't get around Ortiz. You can't sit up there and try to say that he got lowballed and nah, you was offered up to $7 million. Wait, say that again. You can't get around this, man. Ortiz can't get around this. His people failed him. But this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. We all know that Eddie Hearn is known for not telling the truth, but it appears this time it's something to what he was saying. Now the Deontay Wilder thing, that's a totally different debate. But this is what I'm saying. Once again, you got PBC fighters turning down, solid offers. Like I said, Danny Garcia was a fool to turn down $5 million to fight Bud. And if they revisit the situation and offer him $7 million and he don't take it, Danny Garcia is a damn fool. You know what he gonna say? He gonna say, oh, I'm getting that type of money anyway. Yeah, right. Like I said, it ain't no way in hell he made $5 million fighting Adrian Granados in that tiny ass tennis stadium. Ain't no way in hell. And it was like, I don't even know what the attendance was. It was a good crowd, but it wasn't what he usually draw. Yeah, I saw the Easter Junior fight. I'm just telling the truth. I'm just telling the truth. Some of these PBC fighters, they getting led astray. I mean, for real. Ortiz management did him a great disservice by fucking up that fight. For real. But like I said, I'm gonna ask Al, can he make Maurice Hooker, Jose Ramirez, which I think would be a good ass fight. I think that'll be a good ass fight. Probably it'll have to go to a purse bid, because Jose Ramirez don't like fighting outside. He don't like fighting outside of Fresno, which, like I said, fine with me. As long as that fight ain't on a Sunday, it's all good. More than likely it'll be on a Friday or something. Hopefully it's on a Friday or something. So, but I mean, if it's on a Sunday, I'll be there, but hopefully it isn't. But I'm gonna ask him when he say that shit about Al Heyman. I'm gonna say, So are you willing to call Eddie Hearn and work with him to make Maurice Hooker versus Jose Ramirez? That's going to be a fan-friendly fight. I mean, we all know Jose Ramirez ain't the greatest defensive fighter in the world. So, I mean, yeah, I'm going to go see Bob. I'm going to go see the Bob father this Friday at the Stockton Arena when I go to the weigh-in and shit. So, hopefully some other people there. Hopefully Bud is there. I'm assuming Bomac is going to be there because Bomac usually does the play-by-play for ESPN. See, bro, that's the problem. You don't know what type of contract that he got with them. See, sometimes you can't just go because I'm going to tell y'all the honest to God truth. A lot of these promoters be violating the Muhammad Ali Act. They be the promoter and the manager at the same time. Or they be the manager, co-promoter, which is clear violation of the Muhammad Ali Act. They violate that shit on a regular basis. And that appears to might be what was going on with Luis Ortiz. Because if I was Luis Ortiz, I'd be mad that the motherfucker somebody fuck me out of, I mean, flat out fuck me out of man, for real, fuck me out of like possibly $7 million. Yeah, I know. Hey, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. It probably would have been more like $10 million because they done sold like 19,000 tickets so far from what I heard, or somewhere in that vicinity. So he actually fucked himself possibly out of he probably fucked himself out of $10 million because he would have got a percentage of the gate. So that's what I'm saying. But we don't know what type of contract Luis Ortiz got because let's just face the fact. He might be stuck with those people. And I feel you. I'd want to get rid of them motherfuckers. I'd be like, how could you like fuck me out of that type of money? Sometimes when even if he would have took the fight and he would have lost, he would have walked away with like anywhere from like $7 to $10 million. Nine at the, you know what I'm saying? 9 at the least. And you had a stupid team that turned down the fight, either your management team or your promoter, because they was trying to call themselves trying to hold out for more money. He should have took the motherfucking fight. He should have took the fight. You can't like for real. I'm not finna sit up here and tell you no fake shit like, oh man, nah man, they tried to lowball him, and so like here's the thing. Here's the thing, you guys. If he takes a rematch with Deontay Wilder and he only get like $2 or $3 million for a rematch with Deontay Wilder, when I say he gonna look so horrible. Hey, what's up? When I say he's gonna look so horrible if he gets a rematch with Deontay Wilder and he gets some kind of like offer, if he get an offer like $3 million for pay-per-view. Now he still might come out on top if he get $3 million up front, and let's just say the fight needs to do if he get $3 million, the fight need to do at least $300,000 and they need at least $18,000 for him to at least get equal to what he could have got fighting Ortiz. But if he get, like, that's the thing. I don't think Deontay Wilder Ortiz is gonna do that much better on pay-per-view. I'm just telling the truth. Because Deontay Wilder has already knocked out Luis Ortiz. So most of us is gonna assume that he gonna do it again. So people gonna be like, okay, why should I pay you $74 to watch you knock out a dude that you knocked out already, you know, for free? So that wouldn't make no sense. The best thing to do is to make Deontay Wilder Anthony Joshua for December. Now, I found out that oh, it's a minute. I'm going to the gym. Of course, Rashawn, look, it's no way you could get around this. Look, we all support Al Haymon. We all want Al Haymon and the PBC fighters to be successful because most of them are brothers. But at the same time, if motherfuckers ain't doing right and if motherfuckers turning down big time money, you got to hold everybody accountable. And if people was talking they fighters out of taking big time purses, like, fuck that. Because you got a personal vendetta against somebody, then you ain't doing right by your fighters. You doing your fighters, right on, Jay. You doing your fighters a disservice. For real. You doing your fighters a disservice if you telling them to turn down big money fights for millions of dollars because you mad that this motherfucker sued you. My mentality is the best way for me to get even with a motherfucker is put my fighters against his fighters and beat their asses. That's the best revenge you could get. Fuck all this, well, I'm not gonna make no fights with this dude because he sued me and all this type of shit. Because at the end of the day, you still fucking over the fan and there's no way to get around that shit. Yeah, you better take that fucking $5 million. But I don't know if it's too late. That's the problem. Maybe too late. They may be going another direction. And don't fall for that shit that, oh, well, they had this dude lined up. They had this dude lined up in the first place. Don't fall for that shit. Don't fall for that shit. Because Ortiz already confirmed they made him an offer. He just didn't take it. So don't fall for that shit that people gonna say, oh, well, they wasn't gonna take the shit. They knew that he was gonna turn it down and all that type of shit. Don't fall for that shit. Don't fall for that shit. I'm just telling you right now. He had an offer, he didn't take it. That's his own fucking fault. Or his team's fault. Somebody make you an offer like that, you better take it. And then I done found out that Anthony Joshua, see, this is where Eddie Hearn looked like a fuck boy when it comes to Anthony Joshua. He admitted that Anthony Joshua's DAZN contract is a fight-by-fight basis. So basically, they don't have to. Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder do not have to be on DAZN. Well, then Luis Ortiz just is horrible. That's horrible for him. And y'all, we got to hold him accountable. He have nobody but to blame but himself and his team. If Andy Ruiz got the fight, then, hey, congratulations to Andy Ruiz. Congratulations to him. I'm not fit to say shit. Well, if Andy Ruiz got the fight, well, that's a PBC fighter. Or at least he works with Al Haymon. So, once again, Anthony Joshua's DAZN contract is a fight-by-fight basis. So, as far as that go, Eddie Hearn just showing you guys that it's more his fault that the fight with Deontay Wilder hasn't been made, because he could have made a deal with Showtime to get that fight made. Hey, he told that to Fred. Keep in mind that Stephen Espinosa said out of his own mouth, or he told Eddie Hearn in a tweet, that he said that Anthony Joshua really owed Showtime a few more fights. Like Stephen Espinosa could really force their hand if he wanted to. If it does 600,000, if it does 600,000 and Keith Thurman wins that fight, Keith Thurman gonna be in a very powerful position. So then, once again, this could backfire. Let me tell you what's gonna happen if let's just say Pac and Keith Thurman does 600,000 pay-per-views and Keith Thurman wins that fight. You know what Keith Thurman gonna say? He gonna tell Errol Spence, go fight Crawford. And then I'll fight the winner out of you and Crawford. If he gets past, that's what he gonna do. He gonna tell Errol Spence, fight Sean Porter, beat him, and then he has to fight Crawford. And if he beats Crawford, then Keith Thurman will fight the winner. Because Keith Thurman, what he trying to do, he want to be the dude that step in when all the smoke is clear. Because they ain't forced his hand yet. Oh, I can't wait for that fight. I can't wait for Hurd versus J-Rock. Yeah. Eddie Hearn been lying to us for a while. See, and he said that out of his own mouth, that Anthony Joshua has a fight-by-fight basis with DAZN. He's not tied to DAZN. So basically, after this fight, once again, they can start negotiating. No, I'm not sleeping on J-Rock. Oh, right on, San Diego. Yeah. I'm not sleeping on J-Rock, but I mean, you gotta, the smart money is on Jarrett Hurd, because, the smart money just on Jarrett Hurd. I just already know how this fight is going to end up. Jarrett Hurd is going to stop. He's going to stop J-Rock probably around the 7th or 8th round. But J-Rock, if he win this fight, then fine. But I'm going with Jarrett Hurd. I'm just keeping it 100. I'm going with Jarrett Hurd. I think if Jarrett Hurd wins this fight, you got to give him, and mostly everybody agree, if Jarrett Hurd wins this fight, you got to give Jarrett Hurd some top 10 consideration. Yeah, I think J-Rock is just going to get caught in the later rounds. I just think Jarrett Hurd is going to start walking him down, and I think when Jarrett Hurd lands his signature uppercut, I think that's going to be the end of J-Rock. I think that's going to be the end. I think J-Rock is going to get stopped. I'm predicting an 8th round stoppage for Jarrett Hurd. That I don't know, but it's on one of them networks. If I wasn't so fucking scared of airplanes, I would have went out there to see that fight. I think the one LBZ is gonna be there. If I wasn't so scared of airplanes, I would have went out there and saw that fight. It's gonna be a great fight. One thing about Jarrett Hurd, he don't disappoint the fans. Yeah, it's on free TV. I don't think it matter what J-Rock do. I just think eventually he just gonna get caught. I just think he just gonna get caught. I just think we already know Jarrett Hurd don't wake up till like after like the third or fourth round. That's when he get going. And I just think once he get going, it's just that motor just get going, and he just start landing those combos, and then he start walking the guy down, and he start like hitting to the body. I just think when he land that uppercut, I just think that's gonna be it for J-Rock. But J-Rock gonna have his moments. We already know he gonna have his moments, but I just think Jarrett Hurd is just gonna be too much for him. Yeah, what I told you, Keith Thurman is trying to wait it out, bro. That's what he doing. He trying to wait it out. Like I said, if he defeats Pacquiao and he does, and let's just say the fight does 500,000-600,000, I'm telling you, Keith Thurman is gonna be feeling like he the man. Nah, Keith Thurman is a well-known boxer, so him and Pacquiao is gonna do solid numbers. Him and Pacquiao, I'm just telling you, I'm giving y'all my word. What's gonna happen? Keith Thurman is gonna say, hey, I beat Pacquiao. I did 600,000. You gotta fight. You gotta fight Bud, and then I'll fight. We expect Errol Spence to get past. Sean Porter. I'm telling you, that's what Keith Thurman gonna do. When they ask him who do we want to fight out of Bud, and he gonna say they gotta fight each other, and then I'll fight the winner. Cause Keith Thurman want to be the dude. He want to be the dude standing on the sidelines, and then he want to come in. Keith Thurman figured Pacquiao is gonna be an easier fight than Bud or Spence. He figured Pacquiao is 40, and the thing is, Keith Thurman go throw way more punches than Adrian Broner. You can mark my words on that. Hey, what's up? I think Thurman is gonna beat Pacquiao. I think he really is. I think a lot of people might be fooled by that Adrian Broner fight. Now, Pacquiao beat Keith Thurman. We'll give Pacquiao this credit, but I think Keith Thurman is gonna beat Pacquiao. Now, sometimes Keith Thurman is known for winding up sometimes with his punches. Sometimes his punches is wide. But I still think I just think he gonna be able to out-brawl Pacquiao. It's gonna be a brutal fight, but I got Keith Thurman like pulling it off.